Hello, and welcome to Enlighten My World's Syncretistic Services. Sorry I'm late. Something happened with my streaming, so I had to reboot and everything. But welcome, welcome, welcome. Shalom. Boker Tov. We are going to have some fun today, so let's get ready and let's get moving and grooving just a little bit right now. We are the universe. We are the universe. We are the universe. Let it rise. We are the universe. We are the universe. Let it So my technical difficulties threw me off a little bit there. Today, we are going to honor a specific faith today. I know that I always touch on, because that's what syncretistic means. It's the combining of all faiths and philosophies and religions that are like-minded and celebrating them all and recognizing the likenesses and how they connect, because we all have one source, one creator, and one God. And what does that mean? It means regardless of how you celebrate your creator, that's not the point. The point is that you celebrate your creator and that you recognize we are all one and we are all connected, regardless of our culture, regardless of what we learned, in childhood and things like that. We are all one. And so I like to honor all religions and kind of show what connections they have to each other and how they kind of all have the same theme going on. And even celebrations and things like that seem to coincide with each other. So this past week was the celebration of Rosh Hashanah, which is the Jewish New Year. And this coming week is the celebration of the holiest day in the Jewish faith, which is Yom Kippur. So in honor of those, shalom to my Jewish friends that might be watching. And awesome, you get to learn something for those who aren't. But the celebration of Rosh Hashanah is the Jewish New Year. And it is a time to celebrate, way back in the day, would have been a time to celebrate harvest and all the good things that the Lord has to offer and present to us and feed us and keep us alive. And isn't that very similar to so many other cultures, celebrations at this time, from Native American to pagan, Wiccan, all celebrating harvest? And in a few months, we're going to celebrate Thanksgiving, which is also that celebration. And in about a month, maybe a little bit longer, we'll be celebrating Halloween, which is a pagan holiday to celebrate the harvest. That's what Samhain was. So the Jewish New Year is very much the same thing. And I just want to give you a few little things about it to bring into the point of what I want to talk about today. So it's a time of looking forward to the new year and anticipating and reflecting on the past to improve our lives for what comes next. And it was traditionally celebrated with a feast of fall-like foods. And so apples and honey are a traditional food to eat during Rosh Hashanah. And the idea of the apples and the honey, apples dipped in honey, is to savor the sweetness of life and to remove the bitterness. And from what I was told, there is no food made with vinegar eaten during Rosh Hashanah, because we want to take away all the bitterness. We want to focus on the positive things that we want more of in our lives, manifesting. What did we talk about last week? Okay. And we want to raise ourselves up. And the coolest thing, because if you've watched me before, I'm all about raising our voices up to the heavens and connecting us to our angelic realms. So our vibrations together, unified high vibration, connecting us to the heavens, to the ethers. And I also love to ground us while we raise our vibrations with dance. Well, these are things that are done during Rosh Hashanah and celebrated. So, really cool thing, an ancient tradition for Rosh Hashanah is to blow the shofar, which is a horn made from a ram's horn, 100 blasts. And the idea is that those blasts will reach heaven and connect us and bring down the energy of heaven here so we can celebrate and be blessed and move forward into our year. And I thought it was really cool because that's using music, using sound to blast into the heavens. And that's what I'm all about. I say every week, let's sing, let's bring our vibrations up. So, with that said, before I go any further, let's bring our vibrations up with some song. Now, I have celebrated and honored a little bit of a lot of religions in all of our syncretistic services. I've honored Hinduism, definitely, Buddhism, a little bit of Islam, definitely some Christianity. I'm sure definitely some, paganistic or Wiccan things, all like-minded religions that are based in love and preservation and thriving as a species and a community together and celebrating our earth. All of those religions do that. You may not realize it, but if you really break it down, that's what they're doing. So we're going to sing a Christian hymn because I was raised in the Catholic faith, though I've broadened my horizons. But the music's always beautiful. The music to me is always beautiful in every faith, and that's why you'll hear me play Sanskrit, and we'll sing mantras, and we'll do belly dancing to honor the Middle Eastern traditions and things like that. So today we're going to rise ourselves to the ethers with a Christian hymn that I've modified a little bit to fit everybody. But if you know it, you'll definitely be able to sing along. And if you don't, you'll pick it up fast or you've heard it somewhere before, at least the tune. So hum along, sing with me loud, and praise our Creator, because it doesn't matter what religion you come from, we've all been created by a source that is way bigger than us and gives us plentiful blessings all the time. So let's start singing. Holy, 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 universe almighty, early in the morning our song shall rise to thee. Holy, 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 merciful and mighty, you in all persons, blessed unity. Holy, 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 all of us adore thee, raising our vibrations to loving energy. Cherubim and seraphim, singing right before thee, who word and art and evermore shall be. Holy, 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 though the darkness hides me, through your eyes humankind's heart always sees. Source, thou art holy, let me be beside thee, perfect in power and in love and purity. Holy, 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 universe almighty, all thy works shall join my soul to earth and sky and sea. Holy, 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 merciful and mighty, love in all persons, blessed unity. Thank you. I could feel you. I know that there were some of you out there singing. I totally felt that. And I got in the vibe, even if you were just humming along. So, before we get our groove on, I want to talk a little bit more about the Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur thing, because it's important that we find our likenesses in this world and we remove hate, because we are all one. And when we hate one another or when we fear one another, it's something within ourselves that we are seeing reflected back at us that is making us hate and is making us fear, because what we don't understand, we often fear. But the thing we don't understand is that thing that's inside of us. It is a reflection back. It could be a childhood thing. It could be, something that we're taught, early on, that gives us this fear of the unknown, of things we don't understand. So it's important that we learn about each other and we understand each other and where we're all coming from. And we find the likenesses as opposed to pointing out the differences. And I guarantee, if you really took time to do that, you would see there's a significant more amount of likenesses in all of us than there are differences. And you know what? Those differences are what make life exciting. Because if we were all exactly alike and thought exactly alike and did the exact same thing, how boring would that be? Who wants to be around that? Celebrate our differences, acknowledge and be inspired by our likenesses. Namaste means I recognize the God in you, or the God in me recognizes the God in you. That's what it's all about. It doesn't matter what faith you choose to celebrate with. So we spoke of Rosh Hashanah being the new year and celebration of the wonderful things in our lives. And I've really, really, really been trying to bring that to light for everybody and to raise our vibrations in the idea of focusing on what we have that we love and we enjoy and we're grateful for. Being in that energy of gratitude and appreciation. That's the highest vibration there is, next to love, but I think they kind of coincide, right? So that's what Rosh Hashanah is all about. Now, Yom Kippur is the Day of Atonement. And I know what you think, because I come from the Catholic faith, and I know what I think of when I hear atonement. But just maybe, back in the day, all of those sages and rabbis and rebbes and priests and popes and monks, and I could go on and on, shaman, when they came up with the idea for atonement, maybe there may have been a cultural community agenda, maybe, just putting that out there. But deep down inside, maybe ultimately that was about resolving the conflicts within ourselves. It's about restitution within ourselves. Sin is a very subjective thing because the universe sees energy. So when we feel guilt, well, that's our energy. And it brings us into this space of need and a space of lack. So I'm not saying go out and sin and enjoy it. I'm saying the effort should be there first to be your best you. Do the things that in your heart you know are right. That's all avoiding of sin is. So when you think of the Day of Atonement, let's think of it more of a reflection of forgiveness. Maybe forgiveness to others, maybe forgiveness for ourselves. That might be the source of it, because it's really hard to forgive others when we don't forgive ourselves. And a lot of people don't see their role in the things that maybe they interpret as happening to them. But Buddha said, maybe it was the Dalai Lama, but they're kind of one and the same. No one can harm you without your permission. Now, what does that mean? You go around and say, yes, you may beat me in the face. No, it means if you put yourself in a situation, and some are avoidable, obviously, but if you put yourself in a situation, some you have no idea where something can happen to you. If you engage in an argument with someone because you're insistent on your point being made, then when they come at you offended and angry and say harmful and hurtful things to you, you become very hurt and angry and say, you did this to me. And you maybe don't recognize your role in that conversation. So maybe in the next week, we reflect on those things, looking at what role did I have to play in the things that have happened to me in my life? What energy was I calling to myself to put myself in that situation? Now, I'm not excusing or saying terrible things that might happen to people are, forget about them. But I am saying that in order for you to move on and heal, you yourself, this is a very personal thing, have to recognize within you when you let go of that and when you forgive. And that's very hard. And maybe that's why we need that Day of Atonement every year. Because when we're in that energy of anger and resentment and hostility and holding grudges, who is that hurting? The other person isn't even there to know you're doing it. So that's your energy. You're the one festering and sopping up that negativity. Maybe we doesn't mean we have to keep people that maybe are not that enjoyable in our lives or that are abusive or harmful. What it means is we let them go with love and maybe with appreciation for what we learned from that situation. Through every trial we have, and you see this time and time again throughout scripture of all religions, every trial that we have is a lesson we're to learn about ourselves and how to improve ourselves and how to grow from that. So maybe this week we try to look at our journey in life that way and allow ourselves to forgive others and to forgive ourselves, to let go of guilt. Because again, just like resentment and anger and all those things, when we feel guilt, the universe, God, our source, not mad at us. Isn't like you should feel mad and sorry to me. That's a human emotion. That need for someone to feel sorry for what they did to you. That's not divine. So let's try to put ourselves in that divine energy of forgiveness and love and acceptance and create a vibration that uplifts all of us, because that's what this is all about. We want to enlighten our world. We want to influence others to raise their vibrations. And all of those who may have done harmful things, and maybe they didn't do it directly to you. Maybe it's someone did something in another country to other people. And maybe those people that are there can't let go of that energy of pain and resentment. And I don't blame them. But maybe when we forgive, that lightens it up a little bit for them because they can't. They're not in a space to do that. So maybe we do it for them because it's all about energy and we're all connected. And maybe when we lighten up that energy, maybe those who are doing the harmful things to others, maybe they lighten up a little bit too, and maybe they think about what they do. Or maybe that's too much to ask. Maybe they just don't have the opportunity to do the things they're doing because the universe will step in their way. Maybe they'll be prevented in some way. But we have to put out that energy, not of hate and scorn and cruelty and, oh, those people should do this and how dare they, and that's a lot of hate energy. How about we don't know why people do the things they do, no matter how cruel and rotten the things they do seem. Ultimately, there's a good, kind person that comes from source, just like the rest of us in there. So let's try to see that person in even the worst people. See how our week goes. And maybe if it works out and you don't have a hard time with it, next week you can try it too. Because that's what this holy day is all about that's coming up. It's about releasing that energy, recognizing the role we play in our own lives, and how we can turn it around. How we can change our lives, not by action maybe, but by vibration and energy of love. And I know if you're hardcore into, Old Testament and back in the day, this is how it is, and you read it literally, then you're looking at something that was written thousands of years ago with a very different perspective than we have today. That would kind of mean like we haven't evolved as a species if we stay in the energy of where we were 4,000 years ago. I personally don't want to be in the energy of where I was a year ago. So why would I want to be in the energy of where we were as a species 4,000 years ago, 8,000 years ago? I don't want to be there. I want to be in this evolved energy of awakening and understanding and loving and oneness and unity. That's where I want to be because my life flows nicely in that energy. And I hope you're finding the same thing because it feels good to love each other. Just try it for this week. See what happens. Try putting nothing but love out there. Driving in the car, I used to do this exercise, and to this day, it's a hard time. Driving in the car in the morning. Traffic is fun. And there's always those people that you're like, excuse me, but I curse, so if that comes out of my mouth, I'm sorry. But it's flying out of my mouth. So I got in the energy. That's putting me in that energy, and I don't want to be there, especially to start my day. So I would, as soon as it came into my head, because it's a work in progress, right? I have road rage, and I'm sure a lot of you do too. So I'm driving in, and someone cuts me off, and I'm immediately like, mother. And then as soon as it comes out of my mouth, I'm sorry, I love you, love, 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 love. Just saying the word love was all I could do at first. And and eventually got to, still the anger's still there. There's nothing I can do about that. It's a triggering thing, but to catch myself in that emotion and back it off right away and send that person love and safety, because obviously something could happen. Recognizing that could be you in that car and someone's behind you cursing you out because you didn't notice because you're in a rush what you did. We're all one. We're all connected. So we have to feel that in each other. It's really important. Excuse me. So before we get going, I want to get us moving and grooving. And I'm going to keep with what we've been talking about in the Jewish tradition today. And we're going to listen to some really cool. And I want you to dance. I hope you dance. I want you to do that. I want you to get up and I want you to get moving and grooving. If you can physically stand on your feet, get up and move and groove. We want to raise our vibrations and celebrate Source and God and love and Creator and whatever you want to call it together through our bodies. The energy that you get off, the negative toxins flying off of you, and all the joy and everything up here coming into you. And we're grounding ourselves when we dance, grounding ourselves to the earth. I want you up and moving. If you can do this, just get up, close your eyes, and be in that vibration of love and acceptance and universe and source and each other and unity, and let's get in that vibe together. And if you can't stand up for physical reasons or you're in the car, you can dance in the car. I do it all the time. You just have to not, cause an accident and make people curse at you behind you. But even if you can't get up, move parts of your body you can move. Okay? Close your eyes and imagine yourself dancing the way you would if you could. So there are definitely ways I would dance. My body no longer allows me to do. Some maybe my body never let me do. But I like to envision myself in that energy and envision myself in my head doing those movements, because that's just as effective. Because remember, thought and what we see in the physical really don't have that much of a difference in each other. So I want you up and moving if you can. At least halfway up moving if you can, because this music is going to get you moving. And it's like a minute and a half. You can survive that. And if you can't, remember, close your eyes and dance your heart out. You should be out of breath when you open your eyes because your energy is so focused there. Don't watch me. Close your eyes and be in that energy. Now, if you are dancing, you can close your eyes. Just be careful you don't knock into something and, fall. That might happen to me, by the way. So, hope you can hear that. I'm going to be winded after this one. That was great. I hope you danced. Oh, there goes again. Sorry. Oh my God. Shut up. Oh, I hope you danced with me. I'm probably going to have a heart attack now. It's all right. I'm centered. I'm grounded. We already sang. Okay. Hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. I actually pulled a card for that today. For you. I put it aside. I was like, I can just say that. I don't need to go on and on about a card, because a bunch of cards, oracle cards, popped out today. All right. I'm going to sit and change views for you. Whew. Hope I don't look all sweaty and yucky. Bring that energy back down. Okay. Well, hello. Hope you can all see me. So, FYI, I didn't do this because I was, way into what we were doing, but dancing raises our vibrations and grounds us, and singing raises our vibrations and connects us to the angelic realms. Okay, now I want to talk about the cards I drew for us today, and I thought they were very interesting. And I have a little blurb that I want to make sure I don't miss about the cards I drew. So, a little funky thing going on there. We're honoring the Jewish faith because we are in a holy season for the Jewish faith. And as I said, we had Rosh Hashanah, and now coming up is Yom Kippur. So I wanted to pull some sacred geometry because I know sacred geometry is a very big thing in the Jewish faith. It's big in a lot of faiths, actually. I don't know that it's as formulated as sacred geometry as it is in the Jewish faith. Like they actually recognize these shapes and use numerology and things like that in Judaism. So I wanted to use some sacred geometry cards. So I used the numerology guidance cards by Michael Buchanan. And when I drew, this is what came up. Now, recognize that it's the Star of David, also known in sacred geometry as the Merkabah. So that's what that shape is in the three-dimensional. And, you'll see sacred geometric symbols throughout time in sacred scripts and in cave drawings, things like that, because these shapes are repeated patterns. It's kind of like the language of God. It's mathematics. It's geometry, which I never liked, and I hate to say that now that I know how sacred it is, but I never liked it. Now I kind of like it. Anyway, so the Merkabah is the harmonizing of the divine male and female energies. And if you watch me before, I talk about how we need to balance the divine masculine and the divine feminine energies in all of us. That does not mean man, woman, or male, female, as in gender. It is the energy of the feminine and the energy of the masculine. And it's just like the yin and yang symbol in the Chinese culture. It's a balancing of our polar opposites. And we all possess it within ourselves. Doesn't matter what gender you are, we all possess it. And cool little tidbit, the Star of David was painted on all of the shields in King David's army for divine protection because it is a symbol of divine protection and balancing. And I just thought that was kind of neat. But the number 37. So look for the number 37 or the number 10 because 7 and 3 is 10 in your life this week. Because, well, first, I forgot to say, remember I said that blurb? Here it is. The Merkabah brings down source energy into the physical realm and is an invocation of the phrase, as above, so below. So, Jewish tradition, that happens to mean a pagan thing, but really it's an everybody thing. Because as above, so below, doesn't matter what religion, as in heaven, so should we behave here. Love one another as I have loved you. Golden rule, right? We go on and on and on. It means the same thing. And this is kind of the symbol of the embodiment of that energy of as above, so below. Sorry, I had to get that in there. 37. 37's message is, when it comes to you, it's a time for change is about to come, is what it's saying. And the number 10 actually means an ending and the beginning of transition. So when someone might be doing tarot reading or something, and a lot of tens come up, that is a sign that there's some major transitioning happening in your life, or going to happen in your life. So to get to the whole point of today, other than celebrating oneness and unity and how we're all alike, time out. So when you see this, if it flashes on a clock or on a page number that you notice, or however, it's a time to take some time out and play. Because in order to appreciate and enjoy life and to heal ourselves, we kind of have to be light, and we have to experience fun. And so that's the energy I want to send this week. Not only reconciling with ourselves, but think how little children are. Little children are all accepting. Little children. And they don't see color, and they don't see differences in each other, that they don't just think are cool and want to point out. But they're not like, oh, well, I'm going to go over here because you're different. No, they harmonize together perfectly. And I always thought that was really cool when you see that in a little kid. And that's kind of the energy we want to be in. So we want to be in a playful energy. Do you ever see a little kid that's like, I'm not playing with them because they practice that religion or they look like that. No, little kids will go up to any stranger in the park, any kid, and say, you want to play? So that's the energy we want to be in. We want to be in a playful, fun energy. So when you see 37 and you're all with your life and boggled down and you see 37, you're going to stop. You're going to reflect, and you're going to find something fun in the moment, even if it's singing in the car, even if it's to yourself doing a little dance that no one notices, doing some crazy kid stretches, like, big yawns, just something fun that lightens up the energy, because that also is what fosters forgiveness. Kids don't hold grudges very long, do they? Because they forget, because it's not that important. And they'd much rather have fun than worry about why they were mad 10 minutes ago. So that's where we want to be. And the other cards that popped at us, this is kind of cool because it's King Solomon. It's a Jewish king. Okay. And this is about priorities. And normally if this came up, I would say, you're not prioritizing, and you need to focus on your priorities. But in the combination with this and what messages I've been given to talk about this week, I think this is about prioritizing yourself and prioritizing fun and prioritizing lightness, and not worrying so much about the things that boggle us down and the things we have to get done. And who wants to do that? But we all do it. But do you know anyone who wants to do that? I want to spend all my time focused on all the tasks I have to do, because that brings me such joy and delight, and I can't wait to get to doing my accounting sheets. Now granted, some people may totally enjoy that, but if it is a source of enjoyment, that's different than a task that you have to do. Okay? None of us are like, woohoo, chores, except people who really like cleaning or something. But then it's not a chore to them, it's fun. So how can you turn things into fun? You're sitting in your office and you're doing your work, turn on some music, and maybe you're like dancing, maybe you hum to yourself. Go find that person that tells the stupid jokes all the time in work that everybody avoids because they're going to hear a joke. That Monday might be a good day to hear that person's stupid joke. And then what else came out was this peace offerings, the white buffalo calf woman, which is a Native American spirit. And I think that goes along with our whole Yom Kippur, Day of Atonement, forgiving, and that forgiveness within ourselves and forgiveness to others. And when you find that lightness in your heart, it's a little bit easier to move on and forgive others. Okay, so our mantra and our meditation are going to be combined today. And keeping with the theme, I've decided to use a Hebrew mantra, but most of us are probably familiar with it, or at least our version of it. So the mantra is the Hashem, and Hashem means the name of God. So there are 4 letters in Hebrew that stand for the name of God, and in our language, in the Greek, no, we're not Greek, Germanic alphabet, um, it would be the YHWH. And supposedly, this name of God is the formula for all creation. And there was a time where you couldn't utter these words because it would be a sacrilege. But in actuality, if we actually heard the name of God, we would immediately become part of Source and die in this form because our human bodies can't handle it. So we just say the letters, which we know as, if you're in the Christian faith or the Muslim faith, I don't think any other faith say it, but Yahweh, right? But it's actually pronounced in Hebrew as Yad He Vahe. Yad Vahe. Yad Vahe. There we go. Yad Vahe. And it's Yat, like Yad, even though it's Yad. And He, Wa, even though it's Va, it's Wa, He. So Yade, Wade, Yade, Wade. So we're going to go into our meditation saying that, and then I want you to quiet yourself and close your eyes and just listen to the mantra while I guide you in the meditation. But first, I'm going to give you a little meaning behind it. So we were just talking about what the macabre means, and as above so below and all that. So again, to connect other faiths with the Jewish faith in this particular case, the Yadve Hadve Yadve Wadve, there we go. It means earth, air, fire, water. Okay, the 4 elements. And some regard the word as a composite that combines the past, present, and future forms of the idea of the root that binds us, that holds us here. And that's pretty cool. So, make sure I didn't forget anything. All right. So, I have to pull up our guy here. Where is he? There he is. Okay. So, listen. First, we'll chant, and then I will prompt you to close your eyes and to move into meditative energy, listening to this divine manifester, mantra, protector, all present, all powerful, and all knowing. Hope you can hear this. Make sure my volume's up. Yude, Wadve, Yude, Wade, Yude, Wade, Yude, Wade, Yude, Wade, Yude, Wade. Find your place to relax and sit back, comfortable. You could be laying if you want to, sitting with your feet on the floor, Indian style. Close your eyes and feel the power of these words as it flows through you. Close your eyes if that makes you comfortable. and just flow on the wavelength of the mantra and the music behind the mantra. Maybe like me, you feel the need to sway or rock. Just go with that. Go with what your body feels in this very moment. Take a deep, cleansing breath and release all the toxins and negativity of what has come before. Release it, knowing that as it goes back into the atmosphere, it transmutes back into source, positive light energy. Take another deep, cleansing breath, cleansing yourself of all negativity, resentment, guilt. As you let that all out in a big exhale, and again it goes out into the atmosphere, becoming one with source and transmuting to beautiful, positive energy. Take another deep, cleansing breath and let go of the mundane things in your head that boggle you down, that you can't stop thinking of. If they come into your head, that's okay. Acknowledge them there. And now release them with a big exhale into the atmosphere for them to transmute into pure source positive energy. Feel your body relaxing. And if things come into your head, just acknowledge them and let them slowly float out on their own. Be in this present moment with us, with Source. Feel the power of our Creator coursing through your body as you feel the life-giving breath in your body, as you might feel your heart beating spontaneously and on its own with an electrical current of which we are unaware from where it comes. It's just there. It is the spark that awakens us to life. Feel that heart beat. Feel it beat through your veins, in your temples, down to your toes. Feel that heartbeat as it is the earth's heartbeat. Notice how Yud-Vei, Wad-Vei, how that is like a heartbeat. A nice, smooth heartbeat. See if you can slow your heart down to the vibration of this sound. Now don't put pressure on yourself if it's not happening, but just imagine in your head that you can feel your heartbeat slowing to this nice rhythmic mantra, being in perfect alignment and harmonization with Creator, with our Source. Feel yourself in your mind's eye lifting from wherever you are and floating into the atmosphere into source energy and just dispersing and becoming part of it. As you float up and up and up, feel your molecules expanding out, and you're just one with the source from which we come. What do you feel? What do you sense around you? Who might you sense around you as part of you? What do you see? Where are you floating to? Maybe you see all. Maybe you see one location and all the people there. Maybe you just see beautiful and cleansing light. Now I want you to take a deep breath and slowly start to feel your molecules come back together and form the you that has chosen to come into this mortal life to experience the beauty of this planet and the oneness with your planet and your species. And now you should be completely back together again and floating back to where you were sitting or laying. And as you return, you'll feel yourself slowly coming back to consciousness, but this time with a knowing that you are of source, of the Creator, of God. Every molecule in your body, every cell comes from source, and you are one with source, as is everyone else you come into contact with. Therefore, we are all one. As you awaken and feel more alert and more together and more stable and strong, you'll also feel invigorated with the healing that has just taken place, as all toxins of negative energy and tension and sources of anxiety have released from your body. Open your eyes, notice the world around you, notice the room you're in. Be grateful for that room you're in and the space you're in. Be grateful for your body, as it is created exactly as the Creator intended. No matter what wrinkles, scars, fat, gray hairs, no hairs that it may be, it was intended that way for a specific purpose, and it is beautiful. So I hope you're fully back with us and together. I hope you enjoyed that meditation. So we thank Creator for that meditation. We thank Creator for the beautiful healing. We thank Creator for allowing us to share in that meditation and this service with each other. And we thank Creator for the beautiful life that we have in front of us. And we know full well that we are taken care of and loved completely. So I will let you go on that note this week. I hope you enjoyed this. Those of you who might be of the Jewish faith, Shalom, Mazel Tov, and enjoy your Yom Kippur. Many blessings. And for those of us who are not, we may have another faith. Maybe this week we are reverent to the fact that our Jewish friends are celebrating something that's important to all of us, and we're going to join in that beautiful celebration with them, of healing ourselves and forgiving others and letting things go and being in a place of love and fun and childlike energy. And if you're ever feeling kind of caca, yucky poo poo this week, I want you to reflect back on that meditation and remember when you were with Source and you were completely part of Source, even for 5 seconds if you can, because it'll bring you back to the present moment and the realization of who you are and what you truly are. And that we're just here to experience and love and flow. And if we're given purposes, they come before us. There should be no pressure to find it. It'll find us and we'll follow through with it. So have a wonderful week and enjoy yourself and love one another and accept one another. I love you and I accept you completely because you are perfect just the way you are. You're perfect just the way you are. Have a wonderful week.